your heart.
Okay, this the one we just talked about. She's gonna talk. We just talked about the art speaking to you.
Hey.
So this the piece when she brought it out the car. I can see it peeking out from
First
the
thing you saw.
The first thing when she brought it out the car, I was like, ooh.
Wow.
The power that's coming off of this. This is the piece when, as soon as you got out of the car, my eyes fell on it because I could feel this piece. Can you explain this? So when I came back over, that little voice said, next time she's supposed to explain the piece. So I'm shutting up on this.
Oh no,
one.
absolutely.
I heard that.
It makes my day. You add to the piece.
This is my piece that I love. This piece, guys. This is saying something in here. But go ahead. I'm gonna let you
so much.
explain this. This is beautiful.
I sat down. I was just sitting down at the table one day, and I was like, "What am I gonna do?" Because believe it or not, sometimes I actually do like 4 or 5 a day. I just can't stop sometimes, and that's how it is. Sometimes it's just like, you know, God. When God gives you something, when He created the heavens and the earth, He couldn't stop. And a lot of times when I looked at this, and I was, as you look and you see, you over here, you see the leaf, and I was about to put some more, and said, some said, nah, just leave it. And I thought, I said, well, I'm tired. I don't feel like adding to it or whatever. And God said, it's because it's finished. And a lot of times we think we need to add to something, and we see it as not being finished, but it's finished. And it just amazed me, and I was looking at the moon, and there's a lot of things, and I said, well, what do I do? What do I do? And sometimes you have to allow God to speak to your heart. And what we see unfinished, it's finished. And you know, this piece just spoke to me, and it just blessed my soul. When I was looking at the tree, and I looked at everything, and I was just thinking about my life, how I feel like there are a lot of things that are not finished. And God will finish you if you allow God. See, God is the one that makes us perfect. And when we talk about imperfections and stuff like that, how we look at ourselves like, I'm not complete. Well, you know what? When God made you, He completed you. And a lot of times we look at another person, they might not have what we have. Somebody might be born without a limb and stuff, or they don't have everything. They have exactly what God wanted them to have. And I looked at this piece, it's just the way God wanted it to be. And so I admire it as well. I feel like I stole a piece from God. And so, you know, and that's not to brag, but I mean, a lot of times you have to feel good about what you do. And sometimes, you know, I found myself, and a lot of times when I think I haven't done something, and I was taking this piece that I had, and I ripped it up, and she said, and the young lady said, why are you ripping it up? I said, because I don't like it. She said, it's not about what you like. It's not about what you like. God is just allowing you to do something. And a lot of times we can't do that. We can't always tear ourselves down when we think we're not complete. So it is what it is. It's finished, and I thank God for this piece.
I want to piggyback on what you just said, because as you were saying that, I won't talk on the piece, but it was something that you said that when it looks like you didn't think it was finished, but God said it was finished. That way we did a show, the last episode, we talked about loving the skin that you do. And so many people now, they think that they're not finished. If they could have, can I keep it real for a moment?
Keep it
If
deeply
they have
real.
lighter skin, well, women are paying all this money to get boobs, and if I had bigger boobs, if I had a bigger butt, bigger hips, or I don't like my hair because it's so woolly. If my hair was only straighter and longer, I would be finished. I'd be complete. But God said, like you said, you already finished. You were already created fearfully and wonderfully. But we keep trying to add over the finished work of the artist, the greatest artist that there is. So that was a powerful, I told you, there's a message in everything. So she said, God told her it was finished. How many of you are still looking at yourselves like you're not complete, as Sonja said? How many of you are still looking at yourself like you're not whole, you're not finished, you're not good enough? She thought it wasn't good enough. She needed a little bit more. How many of you, when you look in the mirror, you don't see that you're good enough? As Sonja said, it is finished. You are beautiful. You are the greatest artist that there is. If you don't mind me borrowing that from you, has created a masterpiece, and that masterpiece is you. So we're gonna move on to the next one. I felt that. I'm about ready to cry.
That. Yeah, you had me.
I was like, okay,
piece right here. I don't know if this part will be here when you come, because this one right here is really saying something to me. It's been talking to me since it got out the car. So I'm just going to put this away. You're going to have to get your own piece and speak to you. That's all I'm saying. She has more. So you, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to come. The space is going to be held open for you. You're going to be able to meet the artist yourself. And you never know. As you're looking at the art, she may minister to a word to you in due season. If she doesn't speak, her art is going to speak. Either way, you're going to leave here better than you came. You're going to come in one way, you're going to leave out another way. You're going to leave out with a piece in your hand. So I'm just saying this. I'm going to let her tell you about this piece as well.
Look at this handsome man. And that's a lot of times, this is a handsome man. People say, oh, wow, it's weird, that's ugly, this is that. And a lot of times we look at people how we want to see them.
Ooh.
And a lot of times people might look at me and I begin to walk and I begin to do some things for myself to get myself healthy wise and do what I need to do for my body. And I thank God and I begin to look at that and I begin to not complain about this. I say, well, I can make this better. And I look at this man, and as I begin to lose weight, and I thank God for that, I look at him and his tongue is sticking out, and he, you know what he's saying? He said, you don't like the way I look? He said, you don't like you don't like my hair? And a lot of times when people don't like
So can you finish? You said something that was very powerful before the camera did what it did. Can you share that one more time about you were talking about pretty much that he's saying, yeah, and that's what I like that. So when people start saying, you know, we talked about that. You weren't here last week. The last week, that's exactly what you said is what we talked about, my sister and I. Because she went through, loving the skin you're in, she went through trauma because she was dark skinned. And she never felt pretty enough because of her dark skin. Beautiful. And it had an impact on her, but now I'm seeing her blossom. She's pretty much doing this. Like you said to other people, and she's finding and loving herself. Yeah. And because you mentioned that you're working on losing weight, I see you just beautiful.
And thank you, I appreciate that.
You're beautiful. She's beautiful outside and she's beautiful inside.
Absolutely,
and,
I appreciate that.
When you said doing this, we talked about that literally last week. We were saying that because we're slim, a lot of times people will say whatever to you, oh girl, you need to eat, but they don't realize that hurts too.
Absolutely. And how is somebody gonna tell you what to do for you?
Yeah.
This is who you are.
You wear size 00, and it's like, you know, loving, and they don't realize that. For my sister, you know, I used to hate my legs. I used to skinny legs.
Beautiful legs.
I got my dad legs, but you know, and I used to hate being tall because I felt like I was always.
Who wants to be tall?
And now I embrace that.
Absolutely.
I used to would never wear heels because of my height. And now I find out I saw.
What was you missing out on? Now you know.
Now I'm wearing my heels, and now people like you look really, look way up. But I'm like, it's a part of embracing who I am. But I had to get like this guy, and when people, my aunt would say, my sister and I talked about it last week. I haven't seen you. You haven't seen somebody in a while. Hi, how are you? How's the kids? How's everybody?
How are you doing?
No, how have you been? What's going on? How are you? Oh, you losing weight? Why can't you say something positive? I'm the same size, but like you said, I had to be like.
And you take the word weight as well. One day God spoke to me and said losing weight through prayer. A lot of times we have to lose weight. What people say, it can weigh on you, but you have to realize who you are. You are who you are.
Sonja, please grace us with another piece.
Okay.
Ooh, ladies. Ladies. All my ladies in the house say, ow. This piece right here, this is another one that was saying so. I was like, Sonja, why are you coming in here in my business? Like, this piece was like in my business. I was like, Lord, I ain't ready to have this conversation. Why is this piece talking? I'm going to let Sonja tell you what this piece was saying. Ladies, listen up. And men.
Please do it. And the thing about it, when you look at it, when you have, like you have a relationship and sometimes you're going through, and we try to blame one person, we try to blame the other person, but nobody's at fault. And the thing is, when you look at it, it looks distorted. I had somebody tell me the other day, well, his chest is not. I said, that's the way the piece is. A lot of times we feel like things are distorted in our lives. And a lot of times if they're going to continue to be that way until we find common ground between each other. If you're in love, love should bring you together, not separate you. Love is the most beautiful thing that God has ever given us. And when we don't know how to handle love, sometimes you have to know how to handle love. If God gives,
I saw that face, but go ahead.
I was about to say something. I said I'll leave it alone.
Say it. No, come on.
But no, you have to
hear
know how to handle love. And the thing is, you have to understand that in order to be in love, I mean, that's something you have accepted. That's something you want. That's something you desire. And you have to continue to work at it. Because love is art as well. And, you know, love grows. And, you know, sometimes people say they grew on me. They grow on me. It was already there. You just had to let it come out. You had to let it flow. And that's just like these two. We don't know who the tears belong to. It belongs to both of them. We have to accept the fact that if we're going to be in a relationship, ownership belongs to both of us. And you can turn away. One can be looking straight and the other can turn away. But guess what? You still have to find a way to come together in order to keep the love. And that's the one thing about God. God is love. And people talk about what love hurts. It doesn't hurt. We might hurt, but love is perfect. And that's what I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of something. And just imagine how good God is. And He's allowing us to be a part of who He is. And that's love. Love covers a multitude of sin. And if you're going to be in something, be willing to accept something. Ownership. And this picture is ownership. They own it together. So that's just like, you know, it's just like the tear. This tear could be millions of tears. And it just, well, we'll put it this way. They're coming together. And when you love one another, you have to find a way. You have to find. Love will make you, someone told me, you know, when you're in a relationship, you're going to have problems. I said, you don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to have any problems. Sometimes I know people say you're going to have problems. Sure, but do you really have to? Well, that's the way love is sometimes. You're going to be mad at each other. You don't have to be. Then come on now. If God got mad at us every day, none of us would be here. And so that's what we have to do. We have to learn how to come together and love one another. You're going to be in a relationship? Remember, never let anything come between love. Nothing. Nothing can separate you from the love. Nothing. That's just like the scripture. I will let nothing separate me from the love of God. And that's just like this. Love. Love should bring you together. It should not divide you, but it should bring you together.
That's powerful. I don't have a mic because if I did, I would drop the mic right there. I would drop the mic right there. Yeah. I'm going to pull this up so you ladies can see this. You might see some of yourselves in here. Let me put this up to the camera. I'm going to do a still shot of this one. Right there, men, you see yourself? I'm just saying. I dropped the mic. I'm just saying, we're going to put this one on the side.
Woo, you make me laugh. You make me feel good about myself, and I thank God for that.
Okay.
Wow.
We got one more for tonight.
All right.
Oh, wait.
Okay, you want to show that one? Go ahead.
This is my gift. I just want to show you what I've been graced with, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Yes, this is going on my wall. This is an original. This is a Sonja Ogburn original. So when she making all of the bucks, you can come see this on my wall. This will be hanging up when you come to the art show. Did you come up with a title yet?
I have not come up with a title. Love. That's what art is love. I'm just trying to.
That's powerful.
That's what art is. Art is love. Because that's how God created
Is
us.
this art of love or art is love? It's just going to be called love.
I like what you just.
What is it? I don't even know what I said. I'm just keeping.
That's what I'm talking about. Art of love. Look how we share. That's the thing. Like God. God shares everything. He shared everything with us. He could have stayed here by himself. He said, let us make man in our own image. And that's one thing that is love. God, he wasn't lonely. People say God did it because he was lonely. How are you going to be lonely and you're God? So that's just like art. And a lot of times when we have art, if we don't showcase it, it's going to be lonely. And so I just appreciate the fact that someone that cared about me and loved me enough. And thank you so much, Addison,
Thank you.
that she's sharing that love.
Thank
so
you.
I appreciate that.